Hey guys, I'm Robert,
I'm Jordan.
and we're Peach State Installation.
Yep.
And we just kind of wanted to talk with you guys about our gutter guards that we like to install and the different services that we perform, and why we think we would be your best choice.
Yep. So one of the things that, not only do we install gutter guards or gutter protection system, we also install gutters as well. What separates us from a lot of other companies is we keep everything here in the USA. All the products that we purchase, every one that we use is usually, or it's not usually, but is our American-made products. We don't want any of that cheap stuff that's from overseas. A lot of times we'll get this stuff, or I'll come on the customers' homes and see that they have the Home Depot stuff, which is, Home Depot is, I believe, an American brand, but they sell
Stuff from everywhere.
else. China, Taiwan, Indonesia. I'll see all this stuff, and it's just really cheap crap that really doesn't do anything except for cause more headaches down the line. So, that's that. Some of the products that they said you could probably find this on their shelves. This doesn't do anything except for absorb, especially here in the South. It absorbs a whole bunch of pollen, all the debris, all the other stuff from outdoors, and it ends up clogging. This right here will actually sit in your gutter and clog it. I don't know why somebody thought that was going to help out, but this defeats the purpose. This is a home improvement store product. This right here is pretty much the product that allows for, it's almost like a hydroponic system that will allow for seeds and different things to fall into the gutter system and facilitate water flow a little bit, but things will start to grow up out of here.
Plants will grow up out of here.
Little plants will grow up out of here. Yeah.
How strong is that anyway?
This is
all right.
This is just a step up from aluminum foil.
Yeah,
you can literally bend and all that stuff. It's
not bad. So if the plants do start growing out of this, it's just going to start weighting down.
Exactly.
And clogging as well.
And it's going to clog as well. It's going to defeat the purpose of having a gutter.
That's right. And what's that? I hate that crap.
So this is a cheaper version of this, but I'm sure you probably speak to it a lot more than anybody else.
Yeah, I think these two, they just hook on there and they bend over.
And
those rust out.
Those pine needles get in there and they web in between. It's just a horrible product.
And once again, they're soft. This is really soft.
Yep. And this is plastic.
And that's plastic, yeah. And so what happens is, bring that over here. And what I see, and why I keep saying to me is I do a lot of installations, a lot of cleaning. I've installed for these other companies and for some national brands. And, I see and I go to the homes and I just see them, just bending and falling and breaking down. Which is why when I started doing that, and we really wanted to be a local option for you guys, right here in your community, someone you could trust and talk to and call and get on the phone if something goes wrong. But we had to find a product that was good.
Which we've worked with hundreds of products.
Mm-hmm. And we found good ones. Mm-hmm. These aren't it. But we did install some good ones. But they're always locked up in the corporation. And you could only get it by going to them through all their overhead. Yep. And everything, and it was just extremely expensive.
Absolutely.
So we looked for, and we found one. Who did we find?
We found LeafBlaster Pro, which is something. It's a brand that we will put our names behind 100%, and they offer warranties. We don't get paid by LeafBlaster Pro. Just to throw that out.
We have to buy it. We just buy it.
We buy it off of them, and the reason why we buy it off of them is because their product works. Mm-hmm. These national brands and these bigger outfits, what they do is, since they do have so much overhead and the salaries and blah, 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 what they do is they hire these salesmen who are 1099 contractors. Mm-hmm. And they actually start off with a 300% markup on top of their product, just to add another 30% for the salesmen in their commissions. And they give them a huge gap to where they can go from. So, for instance, the only reason I'm saying this is because I've worked for them. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is one of those things that's very predatory. It's horrible how people how salesmen try to get these good, honest, working blue collar folk to dip into their college funds just to keep debris out of their gutters.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane. So
It is.
So, you know, the worst part about it is, and I'm sure for any of you guys that have had a salesman come in and either knock on your door or set up an appointment that you had no idea was going to take as long, usually 2 to 3 hours, take of that day. And again, I did this before and I felt horrible for having, you know, they're over there trying to cook dinner and I had to make a quota. And so it just wasn't cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, their 300% markup on top of them telling us to start at 30% really was, you know, starting numbers were $15,000 to $20,000 just to get gutter protection systems on your home. You know, I think our average sale for gutter protection systems on a home was in 2025 was like $3,200. Mm-hmm. So you're talking $20,000 all the way down to $3,200, which we're not going to try to tell. We're not going to. They
would do that, right? They would drop it.
They would drop it. Insane prices. They would go, okay, well, are you military? Oh, there's a discount. Are you a teacher? Yeah. Oh, there's a discount. Are you a homeowner? Of course they're a homeowner. They're not having somebody else. Oh, well, there's do you have a pulse? There's a discount. You know. Yeah. It was one of those. It was one of those horrible situations where people just do not care about the consumer. They care about their bottom line.
And they're really starting out extremely high. Mm-hmm. Just if you'll say yes up there, and then they just lower it. And will you say yes at 15,000? Will you say yes at 10,000? Next thing you know, you're at 5,000, which is probably maybe where you should have been, even a little lower than that. And then finally, you're there to make the actual real sell if you actually hold on long enough to get down to that price.
100%.
Right?
Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because you sold for them, I installed for these different companies, so I would see the price tags, and they were like $10,000 or 120 square feet, 150 square feet, 200 square feet, and it's always different. Mm-hmm. It's always different. So like I'm installing the same thing, and one's 5,000 and one's 10,000 on like basically the same houses.
Yep. And it's
crazy.
And the funny part about it is these big companies, they just blast out so many they put a whole bunch of money in marketing. They blast out a whole bunch of commercials. They blast out a whole bunch of emails, blasts and social media and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, they have you put all your information in just to, and they capture all that and then they sell it as well. So there's another reason for it. And I'm not trying to make this a bash these type of companies by any means. We just know that from an honest company, it is taking advantage of a lot of folks that do not deserve to have their kids' college fund taken over.
Really, it's not needed because that's what we're here to show you too. Is they actually have a decent product. It's just everything else surrounding it. And so we actually were like, okay, the product's good. How can we provide the same, product, that was just as good, or without all the hassle and the price, and someone local, and without all the competitive or what do they call it, marketing, not marketing, but salesman, the aggressive salesman tactics. And so that's why we got LeafBlaster.
High pressure, for sure.
The high pressure sales. So what do we have here? We have two different kinds.
Yep. So let me dive into this first. So we have the two best products that we work with is the Micromesh. This is a 275 Micromesh, which is stainless steel stainless steel, which is the same stuff that they put in like open heart surgeries. It's the Micromesh that which means that there's non-organic material that can stick to this. No algae, no, all that, the debris. And this is the cheaper version of it. But as you can see, this is not anywhere close to as flimsy as this is.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually pretty good. It's not going anywhere. It's got a little bend to this one. So where do we put this one?
It's going to need it.
But it's not doing this.
Yep. So you have a front receiver and a rear receiver. Mm-hmm. So the front receiver sits on here to line up with the face of the gutter. Mm-hmm. The rear receiver will sit just underneath the shingle, and that's one of the things So one of the things I wanted to touch on was whenever these installers come and they install these cheap Chinese-made leaf filters, they'll actually they'll actually rip up the shingle and damage that shingle. And so whenever you call up your insurance company and they come out and they're saying, hey, there's some damage right here that is not caused because of wind, they can actually prove it because you have a leaf guard or a gutter guard on there. And whenever they do that, not only do they void your claim, or I'm sorry, deny your claim, but they void your roof warranty as well. Now this has one of the lower profiles, especially on the rear receiver, where you can literally shove that right under this shingle and it's good to go.
And it just sits right there either on the top of the drip edge or on the fascia, right?
And
so depending on the angle of the roof.
Yep.
It depends on the angle that we'll install this at.
And it has just enough give to it to where water flow can facilitate properly. It'll sit just enough to where debris will, God can do his thing, just send some wind.
It'll blow it off.
It'll blow right off.
Not only that, we do change the angle based on the steepness of the roof, but we'll provide a brush. Because there will get some type of things sometimes will build up on here. It just happens. So we're going to give you a brush with every install so that you just reach up and maybe once a year or whatever, and in certain spots, you just swipe, done. And so your entire gutter cleaning job, because this will keep everything out. And if anything just lands on top and it doesn't get washed off or the wind doesn't blow it, you just sweep it off with the free brush that we give you.
I'm glad that you brought that up. You're going to get a lot of these. So this is a no clog guarantee inside the gutter. But there is going to be, there's no product on the market that will say no, that it can prove itself to be no maintenance.
Yeah, and that's what the other big companies try to say too. They'll say
never clean your gutters again.
Okay. How about never clean the inside of them again, and you might have to spend 5 minutes brushing a leaf off once a year or something like that. How about that?
And what they should be saying is never clean the inside of your gutters again, but the top of your gutters will still clog. And so
here and there. Yeah.
And so this part of it will still collect debris. But at the same time, for what does not get pushed off of this by the wind or any heavy rain or anything like that, or the water that pushes it off, we provide the brush that allows you and an extension pole.
You just walk out and go
boom, 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 and
done.
And really, it's very rare for it to collect in one spot and stay there. Because
it's not. I've done it for the other companies too, because they do constantly promise never have to, no clog.
You'll never have to clean your gutters again.
You won't have to touch your gutters. And so the first thing people do is there's stuff on my gutter and like, well, duh. And then so I go out there to do a service call and I just get my extension pole and my brush and I go boop, boop. And they charge them $95 or something like that for me to just, I spend 10 minutes there. And they should have just told them that to begin with.
And they try to sell them on reoccurring service fees. Oh, we'll sell you. You want to pay another $350 a year? You know what? We'll come by once a year and do what we're talking about. You could do within 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we're just going to give you that.
Now we understand not everybody is able to do that. There are a lot of physically disabled people that cannot do that. But at the same time, caretakers like I have a 99-year-old grandfather that has filters on his house. He obviously can't walk around with an extension pole, but he has caretakers that do come by, and we talk to them about that.
Because it's so simple.
It's not there's
or your lawn guy.
Yep, or the lawn guy, 100%.
Just like tack it on, like he really is so simple.
If it is needed, though.
Yeah, if it's needed, and that's easy, and we can run through that. That would just be a spot where maybe more water's flowing over than normal. And it's so simple. So this is the light, kind of like if you maybe have debris in your gutters, but it's not just like I live in the woods, so like I got trees everywhere. It's just like all over. So that's what this one's for, right? Yep.
So this is the stainless steel reinforced frame, and what separates this from that is obviously the stainless steel body to it. This can take a tree limb from 50 feet, and it is going to break your fascia off before it goes. So
we have to use a handsaw to cut that baby.
This thing right here, we can use some tin snips and all that, but this is one of the better products. It's a couple dollars more expensive by the linear foot, and that's how we charge by the linear foot. But even then, we're still about we're still about compared to the bigger outfits.
Still the same price, right? No, I mean we're still
compared to the bigger outfits. We're still about 300 to 325% less than the bigger outfits.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking again. We're talking about if you were to have 100 linear feet on your home, you might spend
starting out
$3,200, $3,500, and we offer financing. So that's a lot of the things that we have third-party financing that we we don't have expensive. It's not expensive money to borrow if you don't have that, because not everybody has $3,500 to put on.
And this sits there just like this. So this sits under the shingle, right? Of course, this is a little sample piece. You won't have that bend in there. It'll sit nice and flush against it like that. You can't see it from the bottom. A lot of people, sometimes they try to sell you on the colors, things like that, but you can't really see this from the bottom. And the parts that you can see, it just looks like beautiful stainless steel.
Yep.
It looks nice from above. There'll be pictures that you can see. And we have other projects posted.
Yep.
They look right, black gutters, whatever. You look from the bottom, you can't see them because they sit back, a little bit. And once again, the shingles come over like this. The water goes. It has the same meshes right here.
Yep.
But this thing, woods, tons of trees falling on it. It ain't going nowhere.
That's not going anywhere. Number one, and number two, that thing is going to keep your gutters flowing. So what people don't understand is that your gutters are your exterior plumbing, essentially. It'd be like if you didn't have, let's say your gutters were clogged or you didn't have gutters at all. If you were to put a toilet in the middle of your living room with no drain system and you flush it and you just have the supply lines, what's going to happen? That water is going to flow everywhere on the living room. It's not only going to affect your flooring, but it's going to affect your subfloor. If you have a crawl space, it's going to get in there. It's going to affect mildew, mold, all that stuff, water penetration, intrusion, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is with different types of gutter protection systems that don't work, the number one thing that it affects is your foundation, the structural component of your home.
Well, that's a good time. I'm going to interrupt real quick. Why do you know that? This is another thing about who we are in our company. Why do you know all this about the foundation, the housing, the plumbing, everything? Why is that?
So I did home inspections for 10 years.
Yeah.
And,
certified, right?
Certified, licensed, still, and I still do home inspections, and I went through, in the state of Georgia, this is one thing that people don't know, is in the state of Georgia and a handful of other states, it's an unlicensed and unregulated state, meaning that you don't have to have certifications. You don't even have to have an LLC to perform a home inspection.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that was one of the things that brought our hearts into place. We wanted to help people because he's a licensed and certified home inspector too.
And so we were getting up on the roofs, and then we were seeing these, and so we saw this this area that needed help.
Yep.
And so we started this business as well. So not only do you get protection for your gutters, but there's some houses that don't have the proper drip edge in place and things where these could actually cause a problem.
Yep,
with
100%.
Water splashing back and getting water intrusion inside your soffit.
Decking,
into the
fascia,
decking,
all that. Yep.
And the guys that they're sending out, they don't know any of that because they've never inspected the house. They don't know. They're not certified at all in anything. Yep. They're just there to sell the freaking gutter guards.
Anybody who has a pulse that can work
and get the money and be gone.
Yep.
And I get called back, and because it's their ceiling has water stains on it because it's splashing back through the gap. That without the drip edge in an older home, or just sometimes the fascia's set too low, and it's getting in there and it's leaking down and getting on their ceiling, and they need a drip edge.
Yep.
Or they would just say, "Hey, we would love to do this for you, but you need a drip edge first, or it's not going to help, or you need to handle this, or you just have a home that I don't know if you should get that. Maybe you should just." I don't know, but we'll be able to figure that out.
Yeah. So you're not only getting a product that is durable, reliable, 40-year warranty, and 10-year workmanship warranty, but at the same time, you're getting knowledge from an inspector. You're getting recommendations and suggestions as if we were inspecting that component of your home. So we're going to
ask us whatever.
Yeah, and so I mean, you'll get the protection, but you'll also get the knowledge from people who have been doing this day in and day out every single day for the last 10 years. Not only have we did it for investors, but we've done it for real estate agents, we've done it for iBuyers, we've done it for home buyers, we've done it for all different types of people from all different walks of life. Who some people don't care about, you know, some drip edge on it, and we'll say, okay, well, you need it. Yeah. If you don't want it, then hey, we'll highly advise that you don't get this. But you get that, at the same time, you know, there's different people that want different things.
And we're also connected to the community because we've been doing all this. We know people who can do that for you.
Yep.
If we can't handle it, we can pass you off to somebody that we trust who can.
Yep.
We've been a part of the real estate groups, and we know the roofers, and we know the contractors, and we know all kinds of people. So you just be like, hey, just give them a call. They'll fix that for you real quick. They'll be able to run a quick estimate for whatever, fascia, work, rotten wood, you know, roofing, shingle damage, whatever it is that might be in the way. We can get that handled or know someone to handle it immediately. So anyway, you're just getting that's the thing that we're wanting. You're getting a good product from people from your community, from local who know other people in your community. They're not this huge national brand that doesn't give a flip about you. They're not. You're not calling somebody who's just like an answering company from another state or even another country, you know. And then they're like, "Yeah, we'll get there sometime," you know. And you're calling back over and over. You're going to call us.
Yeah,
we live like 5 minutes away from you.
Yep. Let's rewind a little bit. So what is included with this is just not a gutter protection system and installation. What we actually do is, let's just say that, you know, John Smith wants us to come out and he has his gutters that are slap full of leaves and they're disconnecting and they're leaking out of the end caps and the downspouts. What we do is we also perform, whenever we do install these, and this is a separate service if you didn't want to go with the gutter protection system, is we perform what's called a CSR, or a clean, seal, and reinforce. And what that means is we'll come in, we'll clean your gutters, we'll seal the end caps, we'll reinforce them with these hidden hangers to where you don't have those ugly spikes that are sticking through the face of your gutter. And the cool part about this is this sits at the crown of the gutter. So the fascia is going to have to come off before this disconnects at all. These spike systems sit about almost halfway down the gutter. So it's spiked into the fascia at an angle and it's sitting down there. So that's why you'll see this disconnecting. So not only will we reinforce them with these hidden hangers, but we'll also re-slope the gutters if they have any misalignment on the fascia. A lot of times you'll see that
it's backing up the wrong way.
And you can tell between the 5 and the 6 inch gutter, this has about 40% more capacity. And so whenever you have this holding more debris and more water, what's happening is that water is overflowing either the front or the back, and then it's running down your siding, it's hitting the fascia, it's hitting the foundation, all that stuff.
So if they get these,
if they get those,
that comes with it.
Yep, clean, we seal it, we re-slope it, reinforce it, and you have a warranty with it.
And we install the gutter guards on top of it. So they get a cleaning with it, new sealant on it. We repitch and everything.
You get a tune
brand new gutter. Tune up on the gutters.
Tune up on the gutters. And you know, we actually didn't even talk about this right here. This is one of the products that we actually we actually get so many calls from people who are just fed up with this. This is another one of the bigger outfits. It's actually this right here. It's an all-in-one piece, which is a hood helmet. This is about a $30,000 system. This is actually more expensive than the top dogs who are crushing it. And this was, they had this huge cool sales marketing pitch and all that. It was just like, oh, you'll never have to clean your gutters again. But this uses surface tension that the water will actually take the leaf or whatever debris and push it into here. I don't know if you can actually see, but this got so full. This is actually above this helmet system right here.
Yeah.
And you can see where this hole is right here.
You have to clean this out.
And you have to clean this out, but you can't. You can't. And if you bend this, you avoid that warranty as well.
And the ones that look like this, and not exactly like this, that kind of have the hood that just slide under the shingles as well. Like you have to they usually stick to those, those are usually hard and you have to clean them.
Yep.
What's the point of getting gutter guards that you have to then go in maybe, 2 years later and they're so clogged and they're damaging and then they're hard to clean. So with these, all of them I've seen, this style, the other styles, you have to clean them still.
They're not only, you not only have to clean them, but it defeats the purpose of having gutters.
If they get bent, that's when then the water doesn't even go in on the surface. It just starts pouring over and you see all those black tiger stripes, running down because it gets covered, all the debris going, and then it fills up, and it starts bending and overhanging, and then it just pours out again. Yeah.
So really, I mean, our philosophy on this whole thing is we want the job. We want to do the job. Not only do we want to do the job, but we want to do the job right. We want to take care of our neighbors because we definitely want to not only just build a name, but take care of people in the process as well. With these expensive gutter systems and these bigger outfits that charge you an arm, a leg, and half a nostril, they want you to spend all your money just to make a commission. And to be quite frank, the commission is not really that good.
Yeah. All sides of it. I was an installer.
Yeah.
They pay me even worse.
You got I think you got paid like $1 and some change per foot on the install, and they made about $43.
Yeah.
That's insane. So not only are they taking advantage of the consumer, but they're taking advantage of the people that they're putting to work. We don't do that. We value the hardworking, middle class citizen who this is really who who it's tailored to. I mean, a lot of times, we got the older generation who are in their 70s and 80s.
They're the ones who really need it.
They're the ones who do really need it. I mean, if you don't want to get on the ladder or anything like that, over 500,000 people a year fall off of ladders. There's over 500,000 ladder injuries in a year. Over 300 of those are fatal.
Yeah.
And they all happen between the ages of 45 and 70.
That's.
I mean, it's tough to say, but Grandpa getting on a ladder is not the safest thing.
Let us do it.
Let us
for
do
the
it.
last time.
For the last time, it's what this is it's an investment into your home. It's an investment into your future. It's an investment into your safety. It's an investment into your family. I mean,
and bouncing off that real quick, I would like to cover that. The idea is when you go with us, we might have a local team, right, that we've trained up on it. Mm-hmm. We'll probably be the ones doing it straight up.
We require ourselves. We require a certification process.
Yeah. But what I wanted to point out is, the people who are going to be doing the other ones, like I was in that world, they pay them crap. Mm-hmm. And so you have people who can barely make a living, who they can't have a team because they don't pay them enough to have a team. So they're showing up by themselves, installing your whole house. They're usually, newbies or, young guys, jailbirds in the sense of you
have no knowledge at all.
No knowledge of all. You don't know who you're getting. They're paying them low wages, and then they don't care. So they're trying to get there as fast as possible and get it done as fast as possible by themselves for a look. So they have no value in what they're doing.
And no training
when they're installing these things.
And I remember having conversations with you while you were working for these bigger outfits, as you would be leaving the house at about 6 o'clock in the morning and still be at the job at about 9 o'clock at night. This man has 5 kids and a wife.
For $175.
For $175. He was busting.
Yeah, they're making $10,000.
Yep.
And they're sending an uncertified, I was certified. They got lucky on me, but they're sending these guys. One guy would do it in flip-flops. He would show up on flip-flops by himself,
Yep.
175, and he's like up there installing your lifetime $10,000 gutter guards.
Yep.
And screwing it up.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up, actually, because how many times have you showed up to the job, had no scope of work that wasn't, or had either no scope of work or a scope of work that was not accurate to what it was? They did not give you the materials or the plan that you needed, and most of the time they didn't even give you the pictures or the correct linear footage.
You don't know what the landscaping is. You don't know. Well, you have this miscommunication between the salespeople who are just trying to make the sale.
Yep.
They're not giving me all the information on the ground, or I'm by myself.
Yep.
I'm by myself, and let's be honest, when you're working on roofs, you at least want some guy on the ground. It just makes you feel better. If you fall off, you want someone there. Like at least call 911 or to hold the bottom of your ladder. Or you need at least. I like to have a whole team, but at least one other guy.
Yep.
But you can't have one other guy because they don't pay you enough to have, and they don't pay both of you to go.
Yep.
So you show up there by yourself, and you're trying to work angles, walk high, steep pitches. And they're just like, figure it out.
Yep.
For 175.
and the problem with that is that whenever you go out there and you're getting to work and you think that you're doing something, but if they don't train you properly, or if they don't give you something to support you, like there's no way that you can get on a 12 and 12 pitch slope roof.
Yeah.
And not have somebody down there to you might have a gutter on a second story that the slope is like
all
this.
The time, yeah.
And so that they're expecting you to perform a job that, quite frankly, is impossible to do
By yourself, yeah.
by yourself.
And they're just like, here you go, try a pillow, or put the thing like this, or it's crazy, because they just want it done.
They just want it done, and they want to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been so many times, and again, I was on the sales side. I've done installations as well but whenever it came down to it, it got very ugly and very messy to a point of, I would make a sale, and then they would come out, and there would be miscommunication from me to the company, and then miscommunication from the company to them,
to the installer.
So it's they're misinformed and they're not ready for the job. So therefore it makes the schedule even worse because it has to get pushed
rotating
off.
Through these people too.
Yep.
So this could, because of the environment and the people who are installing are coming and going, getting fired, coming in. They're constantly training new people. They're constantly training new salespeople. So you're getting these salespeople who've been out there for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
They don't know what they're talking about. Not really. They just know the pitch.
Yep.
They know the sales thing. They don't know what the gutters are. They don't know what the roofs are. They're not certified home inspectors. Not certified anything. They're just just a brand new baby, and they're trying to tell you what's up.
Yep.
And then they don't know, they've never installed, so they don't know what pictures to take. I'm like, you didn't even tell me it was on a hill.
Yep.
Like I show up and the house is on a hill and it's like 40 feet high, and they're like, oh, it's second story.
Second story, 40 foot. Yeah, I know, right?
Like, what?
Yeah.
So it's just a mess.
So we do our due diligence, and that's one of the beautiful parts about working with us as a smaller outfit. We have a smaller team to where we can keep it super affordable. We can keep the communication in line. We have apps, and we have different communication systems where I can send out a message to my team. He can send out a message to the team, and we can just get it done without any miscommunication at all. It literally goes from you to us, not from you to him, to her, to them, and then to the installer. And so that's one of the reasons why we just feel like it's super important for you guys to keep it with smaller locally owned businesses. One, we're homegrown. We're family oriented. We're family oriented. We're all about just, helping you guys out while staying honest and maintaining our integrity and our character in the whole situation. We want to be able to serve you in excellence, and we can do that because we're not the guys that have a billion-dollar
Yeah, we
company.
can't hide behind our ads and just say, oh, well, like if we mess up in this area, there's our name.
Yep,
there's our reputation.
Yeah.
It's over. The sales stop.
And you can look at our reviews. Peach State Installations, Fayetteville, Georgia. Look at all the reviews that we have. We have nothing less than a 5-star review. Every single one of them are customers that have not only did we work with them, but we have tried to give back in some form or fashion to where we have either put on get-togethers or barbecues or you name it. We've actually gone out and we're in the community. We're not just these big companies who go out there and just say, here's $20,000 a month in marketing, blast our name out there, we'll throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. No, we put our name on the line every single time because we want to earn your business. We want to be able to earn the opportunity to serve you. And we come at it with a mindset of, hey, I want to see what's best for you, because whenever we see what's best for you, we establish a connection and we know that that's the best way to go about business. So that's essentially who Peach State Installations is in a nutshell. We're willing to do the work. We're willing to do it great. We're willing to just serve you in any capacity and do the best job that we can to better provide for our families and the people that we love. So
give us a call.
Yep.